Now, this is the cookie. This is the cookie. And I realize now that I'm not needed to do comedy. I think this is going to be my calling from now on. And I'm sorry that I'm giving you the recipe, because Famous Amos never gave away his recipe, but when you get this recipe, you're going to want to make it. Now, to prove that it is good a cookie, would you want to taste this? You look like a healthy eater. No. All right, I'll give you a little, it's very brittle, it breaks. A little taste. Face the camera and tell people how you feel. Face the camera. Taste it. This girl is a fresa, there's no question. What do you think?
Buy them. They're great.
So insincere. I'm sorry I picked on somebody in the first row. A quarter of a pound of good creamy butter. And it could be Ralph's or it could be Knudsen, a good solid creamy butter. What is the first? Do you remember the first? And? Ladies and gentlemen, you got it. I mean, you're not going to be disappointed. This next performer is originally from Detroit, which is by the way, this gentleman wrote this, which is a prerequisite for most comedians. He's also an actor, and he's just returned from Las Vegas, where he opened for Freddie Fender and Tina Turner. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand, is what he asked for. I mean, that is really schmucky. If he doesn't think I would ask for a big hand to get him out here, I mean, but he had to make sure. But really, because he needs it and wants it and will feel loved, and he's a very nice guy. We had dinner together backstage, and he's a decent human being. Let's have a big hand, one for me and one for him. And he wants us to have a lot of fun. That's up to you, Joe. Joe Nipote.
Cool. How you guys doing? I'm sorry. So, how you guys doing? Okay, you're pissed off. Thank you very much. Are there anybody here from Texas at all? It figures. You just want to get in the show, don't you? Are you from Texas? Yeah? Let me make you feel at home. Shit. Everybody from Texas, hey, Bobby, get away from the car. Shit. Okay. Well, what I'd like to do is, since you're from Texas, I'd like to do this is a commercial of a very big country western star that everybody here is familiar with. Oh, but to do this, sir, do you mind if I use your cowboy hat? I could make it. You mind if I use that?
It's new.
Well, I'll be careful with it. You might just throw it up there. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. That's a nice hat. That's a. Well, what's your name, sir? You don't have to stand up and sit down every time I talk to you. Sit down! I'm sorry. Are you a real cowboy? You work on a farm or a ranch? Just a fag, huh? Okay. No. Okay. Just kidding, Mike. Have you guys seen this commercial? God, you got a big head. Look at this. No wonder cowboys are always stepping in manure. This is like a home for people in Taiwan. Would you like one bedroom or two? We got 2 beds in this one. Oh yeah, this is practically a condominium. Mike used to live here. He a fag, okay. Just kidding. That's amazing. Who would ever believe a sheriff? All right, hold it right there. Come on, you're coming with me. That's a Mike. Are the rest of the parts of your body an abnormal size? Have you guys seen this commercial? Howdy! I'm Walt Garrison, and I don't smoke. I don't. But when I want that real tobacco flavor, I just grab me a pinch and shove it. That's right, folks. Just a pinch in between my cheeks. Then I sit back and enjoy that aroma flavor. And without lighting up, too. Okay. Thank you, no. Anyway, that's real nice. That's real. What are you drinking, Mike? I'd like to buy a drink since you're...
A beer.
A beer? What kind of... one of the waitresses, could you make sure Mike gets a beer? Ladies and gentlemen, please tip your waitresses as best you can, because most of them here at the Comedy Store are pregnant and on drugs. And they how about giving Mike a hand for being a good sport? God, you guys are one. Isn't this a great set here? Let me ask you guys a serious question. How many people here have ever smoked marijuana before? No, come on. You know what I hate about smoking marijuana is at least for me, when you smoke marijuana, you always end up in one of those fast food restaurants, you know? And I hate going in there, you know? Next time you go in there, do what I do. Have a little fun with the girl behind the counter. And you know how she's always real cheery to help you when you go in there? It's always, hi, can I help you? Next time you go in there, do what I do. She asked me that, and I said,
yes. I'd like a Big Mac with large fries, and give me a large Coke noise, okay?
And the girl was black. She said, say what? So now I pretended like I got mad, right? I say,
I want a Big Mac.
Just a second, let me do this.
I want a Big Mac with large fries and a large Coke noise. I don't see any problem. Is there a problem in that?
This girl was so freaked out, she went and called her manager. She brought her manager back. Now picture this, in front of her manager, she says, would you please tell me one more time what you'd like to eat? And I went, I'd like a Big Mac and a large Coke. Wait a minute. And I'll tell you something, I must have been high, because the manager turned to the girl and said,
what's the problem? I don't see the problem.
Oh, God, you guys are a wonderful group. I'm originally from Detroit. I grew up with a character in Detroit that everybody here has grown up with this guy. You guys all know him, and we used to call him Goober Pops. Oh, before I do, how many people here have ever had a father or a grandfather or just knew a guy who ever had a hat like that? Remember this guy? Remember? He was always crabby and look, a lot of guys are going, hey, that is my hat. Remember? He was always crabby and he always had a good old joke to tell. Remember the way this guy looked? Oh, although it wouldn't work without the nerd glasses that they wore too. Remember this? And ladies and gentlemen, before I start this, I just want you to know right now, this is not a nose and glasses combined, okay? Thank you. Mike's going, hell, you could have fooled me. By the way, Mike, this is what you'll look like in 5 years, okay?
How are you, by God?
Remember this guy around Halloween?
Here you go, you little shits. Now get out of here! And stay off of the lawn!
I got a good old joke to tell you. There's this guy, and he's been mining in the hills for 20 years. He comes down out of the hills, he goes into a bar, he says, "Bartender, by God, give me a whiskey." Bartender gives him whiskey. Bartender, do you got any women around here? He says, "Nope, but we got old Joe in the back." Says, "Old Joe, I don't go for that shit." So he goes back up into the hills. 20 years pass by, comes back down, goes into the same bar. Says, "Bartender, by God, give me a whiskey." Bartender gives him whiskey. "Bartender, did you get any women around here yet?" Says, "Nope, but we still got old Joe in the back." Says, "Bartender, by God, if I do it with old Joe, who's gonna know about it?" Says, "Well, me, you, old Joe, of course, and the other two guys." Says, "The other two guys, who are they?" Said, "The two guys holding down old Joe, he don't go for that shit either." You guys have been wonderful. Thank you very much.
Joe Nipote. One.